Welcome. So we're looking at top tip today, and we're going to be looking at hip drop. We've done a lot of videos about ground reaction time, and this is a lot about ground reaction time. We see plenty of runners outside spending a long time on the ground, and there are certain consequences that come with that, and they can lead to injury risk and tissue issues. So what we're going to look at and think about is hip drop. So we're looking at when you land on the single leg, what happens to your hip? Can you react to the ground force and keep your hip nice and level? And if I hop, if you watch, the hip stays relatively level, okay, versus a hip drop kicking in and the other consequences that can happen as a result of that. So if we have a look, if I spend longer on the ground, you can watch my belt and I get a really obvious hip drop on one side because I'm not reacting to the ground. I'm spending longer on the ground each time there, and I'm having to absorb a lot more stress. What's happening is my pelvis is dropping, so my lateral glutes aren't doing the job properly. As a result of that, over time, my knee potentially can start to fall across the midline, so I can put pressure and stress on the inside of my knee. Also, I can load my band, my IT band, laterally and create what's called the runner's knee. I'm also spending longer on the ground, extra stress into the kneecap, and obviously at the bottom of the chain, the foot's got to absorb a lot more stress, so we'll tend to roll through our foot. If you've got something like a hip drop and you go into a running shop and try and get trainers that are anti-roll trainers to try and help hold your arch in a better position, what you'll tend to find is if it's because your hip is dropping that you're collapsing through the foot, you're just going to squash the trainer. Your body's going to put the stress somewhere else. The shoe won't be able to control everything, so you'll put more load through the knee, or you'll shift your hip out to the side further. Your body will find a way to get around the block of the shoe. So we need to take these things into account. Think about the training we're doing and the running that we're doing to make sure that we're dynamic and strong and stable around our hips and pelvis, and understand the consequences down the chain if we're not. Okay, hope that helps.